is not just gonna blow your mind, it's gonna blow your soul.
Welcome back to another episode of the Little Jolly Gamer Show podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Up top, before we even introduce who we are, I want to thank you for watching us on YouTube or listening to us on one of our many RSS feeds across the cyberwebs, which it could be on Stitcher, it could be on Podbean, it could be on iTunes, it could be any of those places that carries an RSS feed, including SoundCloud.com as well. But if you're watching this, you're watching it on YouTube exclusively. It's the only place we have video content.
Watching it on YouTube.
My name is Brandon Jolly. Your name is...
My name is Steven Geist.
And I'm Jacob Langston.
And we are going to be talking about video games and stuff. And this is our 64th episode. This is episode 64.
Nintendo 64!
This is episode 64, so we're going to be talking about the Nintendo 64 later on the show. Today's date is the 10th of November, 2017. It feels good outside. It's cool.
Hallelujah.
How you guys doing?
Feels very good.
Real good.
How are my cohorts? Are y'all doing okay?
Nick, I was playing.
That's
playing,
what we are to you, cohorts.
I was playing with Nick earlier on a game I'll talk about later, and he's like, "Yeah, it's 4."
It's 4 degrees.
4.
Can I live with him?
I've
14? No,
Yeah.
4.
I'll live with him. It was only 400 here this summer.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, let's start off the show the way we always do. Let's jump into what we've been playing. I haven't really been playing much different than what we talked about last week, so you wanted to jump right into
I think I'm the only one who's got something new.
Yeah, you can finish with it.
You want to go first, Steve?
Or go first? Yeah, go first.
No, it don't matter. Whatever y'all want to do.
Let's get Mario Odyssey out the way.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do Mario
So, last week was the first episode we talked about Super
Still
Mario
haven't
Odyssey.
played
Steve hasn't played it yet because he's a loser and he sucks.
Money.
I was kidding. Where are you at now, Jacob? On
Just the lake zone.
Just got to the lake area. Okay, that's cool.
I had a really kind of busy week, so I really had no push very hard. And Nick's like, every time I get online, he's like, "Hey, you want to play Fortnite?"
It's easy to jump in.
Yeah.
So
I'm distracted.
honestly, I don't want to say it's coming to a halt for me.
I really want to play Mario though.
It's not coming to a halt. It's just I've gotten to the point to where I finished the very last challenge, like the last kingdom.
How many moons do you have?
540.
Okay.
And
so that's kind of slowed down too.
But once I hit 500, there used to be a little ticker on the Odyssey. It said, "Oh, you need to get 60 more."
Yeah.
And then after I got 60, it was like, "Okay, you need to get 250 more."
Right.
And now I don't have a little countdown anymore, so I'm less incentivized to keep collecting unless I just want to go and get, which is still fun to go and do. But I don't have that reward I'm working to, so I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna go collect some things, and all the coins I'm collecting in the meantime is helping me get like costumes I haven't gotten yet, and I'm going to get all the purple coins and stuff and just unlocking everything. But I finished the very last kingdom, which basically...
Is it the dark side?
The darker...
The dork?
So...
Dork?
There's the dark side of the moon, and then there's the darker side of the moon.
Not the Transformers version.
The dork.
No.
Okay, not that
Praise
crappy
God. No, so the darker side of the moon...
Anyway.
Spoiler alert, is
Real
basically... It kind of takes you... and this is my favorite part of the whole game, was this one challenge, because it's... You have to go from the beginning to the end of the whole kingdom. It's just nothing but platform peril, the hardest platforming. If you die, you start all the way back at the beginning. You have to be good.
Thank God for those coins.
You had to get it. Yes.
That was a really good Mario Party reference. Platform peril.
Platform peril. Now you can be a hoe and you can cheat by scanning your Peach amiibo, which I don't even have one, so I can't. Or you can scan your Mario amiibo and get invincibility, which might help you on this.
So you actually do you get the floaty powers with Peach?
No, with Peach, you scan her and you get the super heart. You just get a super heart when you scan her in. No matter, there's no cooldown. You can just scan her and get it as many times as you want. So you can cheat and get it that way. But I didn't, because I don't have any form of Peach amiibo, so I wasn't able to do that anyway.
Not at all, huh? Yeah.
Which is interesting. I thought I had one, but I
Yeah.
guess not. I don't have.
Probably still fine.
I don't have Princess Zelda either, which is whatever. But I did that, and, dude. Let me tell you, that is the ultimate end level, because there's not a boss fight or anything like that, because the kingdom before that, the dark side of it, was just a boss rush for all the brutals. But
They're kind of pushovers.
yeah, they kind of are. But when you have to fight them one after the other, and you only have one life bar to do it on, then it gets a little difficult. But they're still not, and you get a really cool costume for beating them.
Okay.
But this one's really cool because it takes everything you've learned from the course of the game. There's areas that have lava, there's areas that have ice, there's areas that are slippery, there's areas that are nothing but platforms. there's areas where you can't use your hat. There's areas where you have to use your hat. There's areas where you're playing as a thing that you haven't seen yet. And then, like, by the time you get to the very end is like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
It's so good, and you only get like one multi-moon for beating it. But it's like the ultimate end level where it reviews everything you've learned.
Kind of like Donkey Kong 64.
There's one really cool part where there's this icy water is going up and down, but it's just a section of water that's going up and down, and it's kind of like a sideways view. And there's those fuzzies, you know, the fuzzies.
I've already played a level like that.
The fuzzies are kind of moving around, but there's one part where the water's going up and down, and there's this really long line of fuzzies that's just going like this.
Fuzzies.
And the little
sparky
little
looking
black
guys.
woolly booger looking things.
Like from Paper Mario?
Yeah.
Oh!
The fuzzies, you know? The little leech things that go...
Yes!
Yeah, but anyway. I used to call them woolly boogers.
They're in there. They're in Super Mario too, as well.
So the fuzzies are coming around, and then the water's coming down, but it was always in the area where if you don't jump quick enough, you'll get caught in the water, you have to swim. But the water is freezing cold, so you'll take damage if you stay in that. And you only have 3 hits. So I did this epic maneuver, which I forgot I should have captured it. I could do it again if I wanted to. But I ran, I jumped, threw my hat, dove, bounced off the hat, the water came down, I went under the water, but over the fuzzies and landed on the other side.
Oh, nice.
But like
Maneuver.
it's maneuvers like that you have to do the entire time. There's a
Yeah.
part where you have to platform as I can't say, but there's the little flower things are like the little disappearing flower roads. Remember, like you had your maneuver on. Those show up, and then there's like those. Have you seen those things where you throw your hat and it makes a lava ring and it expands? There's an area like that where I learned that it's best not to hit those because there's chain reactions. There's nothing but those, and they have those little like fuzzies, not the fuzzies, but the other little things that just kind of hop at you.
Yeah.
You see them like on the dinosaur level, you crush them.
Yeah.
They're after you, but if you hit, there's one of those little expander things in the middle, and if you hit that, it goes out and it hits the expanders all around, and then once you hit that, it's a chain reaction. They just keep going. They never stop.
Yeah.
So I found out if I just don't hit any of them, and I just keep hitting the guys as cautiously as I can.
Yeah.
But also there's a fog. So if you hit the fog, the rings clear the fog. It's really difficult.
It's kind of choose your own adventure.
It's so much fun.
That's pretty cool.
It's so much fun. In the very end, you actually get to replay. It's not the same area, but it's one of the last areas of the game, and you have to play as a certain person, or a certain creature, rather, that you capture, and it's really fun. And then at the very, very end, you get to a skyscraper, and you have to climb all the way to the very top of the skyscraper, and then Cappy's talking to you like, oh, wow, I really enjoyed our adventures, and blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of like the true ending.
Yeah.
But I got that, and then after I beat that, I was just kind of like, well, other than go and get the costumes and the purple coins and stuff, I really don't have much left to do.
Yeah, only just
but
collecting the
I
random
did
moons.
play the heck out of this game, man. I've probably put like 30 hours in. Not 30, probably like
Man,
20.
the platforming and hearing you talk about it, and I hadn't even hit the crazy hard stuff like you just explained. But the platforming for me, like, it's got that satisfaction and adrenaline rush. And I compare it to honestly like some jumps from like, I don't know, like Mirror's Edge, like where you're like, like one of those moments.
This one was the point to where it got kind of frustrating because like I didn't know it at the time. I was on like almost one of the very last moments, and I died. I had full health and everything. I just missed a really hard jump, and I wasn't playing as Mario. I was playing as a thing you capture where you. I don't know if have you captured one of the little bird things with the little pecker? He's got a little pecker. You know what I'm talking about? And you peck things and you get stuck and you can fling yourself up. Well, there's a creature like that, and there's these spinning things, and you have to peck onto it, and you're swinging with it, and there's another one above it, and you have to swing up and then peck into that one, and like it's so good. It will test your patience. The rage monkey will come out. It's very hard, but it's so. By the time I beat it, I was like, okay, I've mastered this game. There's no challenge I can't overcome in that game.
Yeah, after that.
And so after that, I do want to review one thing. On the last episode, I said this is a near perfect game. I still stand by that. Mm-hmm. But compared to that last Kingdom, all the rest of the game looks like Child's Play. And so like the difficulty is a little. Compared to that one, that's the only Kingdom that gave me any trouble.
Yeah.
I think I would have preferred to have a little more difficult, like a little bit more challenge, I guess.
Sure.
But whenever you do go back, I mean, I did mention in the last episode, whenever you beat the game, more challenges open up on other kingdoms, and some of them are special pipes you go down, and then there's like a little extra challenging zone there, and those are fun too. But I think that's like, hey, you finished the regular game. Here's some stuff. If you're more advanced, you should go try to do this stuff.
Well, and I think that's Mario, not Mario's way, but Nintendo's way of balancing that gap, the bridge between
something for the
kids,
kids.
The bridge.
and the seasoned vets.
I think they did a good job.
Yes.
I would just like to see more like, and I'm sure they will come out with a pack because they did that for some of their other Mario platformers, like the side scrollers.
Right.
They came out with like, hey, here's the extreme pack. If you want to get your butt whipped, here you go. This is your pack. And I kind of want that pack with this one.
Okay.
Because the 3D platforming is so good.
Oh yeah, man.
But I feel like I want to.
On point.
I feel like I want to restart and do it all again.
You and Haley should try it with the 2-player mode.
Yes, we do. We want to. Haley is possibly picking up. I don't know if this is true. She's hinted at it. She might be picking up Skyrim VR.
Oh, nice.
And it comes out Tuesday. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, Steve, I forgot to tell you to bring Doom back. Oh well, I'll get it from you.
Oh!
Haley been wanting to play that game.
What game comes out 17th? I was thinking
Now you
about.
tell me.
17th? I don't know.
I have to look it up. All right. Anyways,
I don't know if any good games are coming out, but I know that crappy Battlefront game's coming out.
So that's all I've been playing though is Mario Odyssey. I've been playing some Dead Rising. I got the Dead Rising triple pack, but
yeah, I saw you and Seth kind of playing here and there. But that's kind of like something you've played over. And over
that's
and
like
over
my
and
little
over.
that's my little time killer. Because I bought that before I went on my Disney trip because it was $20 for all 3 games, and I was like, I'm gonna need something to hold me over whenever I'm waiting on that Black Friday bonanza.
Sure. Yeah, we're gonna have some games to play because oh my gosh, bruh, I'm getting it. GameStop's doing a pre-Black Friday sale.
Yeah, if you have the Pro.
Best Buy is doing it right now. You can buy it right off the internet.
Oh really?
For
I just don't want
$20.
to buy it off the internet though. I don't want to wait on it. I want to have it in my hands. While
Horizon
the store.
and
$20.
Uncharted Lost Legacy are both $20.
Yes.
And then I don't know if you've seen the Black Friday ads. Let's talk about that news. Continue.
I picked up. I wanted to play it, but I picked it up. I'll probably talk about it next episode. But the free games, it doesn't look bad, but compared to the line they've had.
Worms! I want to play Worms. No one's been online.
So I've got it.
That's more of a versus game. We'll be fighting each other.
Okay. So we'll have to wait till next episode.
I would like to play Worms, and I haven't played Bound yet. So
Bound looks okay. It just doesn't look like my kind of thing, man.
yeah, I don't think it's a Jacob game.
What is it?
And it might not even be that much of a branding game. It's kind of like a
Indie,
artistic
artsy
platformer.
game. Yeah,
side
it's what it looks like.
Artsy.
I don't know.
Well, it is, but at the end of the day, someone put love and heart into the game.
It might be
I'm sure
something.
It might be something great because Journey was like that.
You might
Journey
play
was great.
it. You might just be done with it really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
We finally, me and Nick finally got duos. Finally got a duo, and after that, we've been smoking them, dude. Smoking.
So you've won more than one duo?
Oh yeah.
on
The
Fortnite?
leaderboard's a little funky too because right now I'm number 1 on the leaderboard, but then Nick's not up there with me, so I don't know what that means. But anyways, I don't know how they do leaderboards. But they unlock the season shop, but guess what?
You can't do nothing with it.
Well, you can do other stuff.
It
with
costs money.
You gotta use the V-Bucks.
V-Bucks, and you only get that in single player.
Or you can buy them.
Or you can pay real
You gotta
money for
understand
it.
now.
But you can't earn the V-Bucks in Battle Royale.
Right. To Epic's defense, Battle Royale is free. So there's a ton. All these 800,000 people we're talking about that are playing it. They're playing it probably without ever buying the Fortnite game. So they're giving this paid service for free. So they're wanting. So I understand that.
Get the money back.
However, I just man. Bro, if they just gave 5 V-Bucks, like you understand that let's say a cheap hero costs 800 V-Bucks, okay? Let's say just to play one match, like you were one of those minions that dropped in, and before we were even touching down, he's already dead, right? So that you're automatically out and back in. Let's just say it gave you I don't know, 5 V-Bucks. You got
one V-Buck for last place.
Yeah, you gotta play a lot to get that. You could do it, but I just don't understand. I mean, make it mind-numbingly grindy, but at least make it some kind of
with Grand
incentive.
Theft Auto. You still have something as grindy as it has gotten.
Yeah,
you can still achieve everything in
And
that game
still
without
pay
buying.
for Grand Theft Auto though.
True.
Correct.
I mean, they gotta be able to make money somehow.
True.
And I feel you, I really do, because it sucks when you play something with no reward. It's just not fulfilling.
But see, here's the thing: you wind up like that. You play something with no reward, and then you go, "Well, this is not worth it, and I'm not spending the money on it, so I'm done with it." So at least
that's
if
the
they
point
give
that
that
I've
just
been at.
that little bit of grind, even though you might not like it, some people are like, well, the people that are going to pay the money are going to go, "I don't want to grind. I'm going to pay the money."
Exactly.
And the people like us are like, We'll just play some
Better
matches.
start grinding.
Well, see,
Yeah.
here's my thing:
So-
is that's perfect for me, and we've been down this road a million
Yeah,
times. It's
sure.
perfect for me because I can play it.
Wait,
I can
we're talking
grind-
about loot boxes again?
Yeah,
I
sorry.
can
didn't
play
bring
it.
up, but-
I can grind it out, and I'm having fun grinding out, and then I'm getting rewarded, and I keep playing it, and I'm returning to it.
Correct.
And then give me some things that are exclusive that I can't grind out for, and then I'll be more liable. Kind of like Orcs Must
I was
Die.
about to say Orcs Must
Orcs
Die.
Must Die does it like that, you know, where it's like, man, I really don't feel like grinding out forever to get. Actually, there's some things you can't grind out for, like costumes.
Yeah,
It's like,
those
well,
cost money.
I would,
Flat out.
you know, if we played Orcs Must Die on like a weekly, bi-weekly basis,
Be worth it.
I would go buy some of those skins.
Look, I've got
It's like a couple dollars.
I've got $7 already on the PlayStation Store. Even I've been playing Fortnite enough that one of those there's a skin in there that I want. I'm like, I'm tempted to get it. Like I'm really thinking about because I put enough time and effort into it. So yeah. Anyways, I didn't want to get hung up with the model. But
Total side story. Did you see where the pumpkin launchers in Fortnite?
Mm-hmm.
You see, you can stand on top of the pumpkin and you just ride it. If your friend shoots a rocket with a pumpkin on it, you can stand on it.
no. Oh, we gotta try that.
There was a guy. Now you gotta make sure you get on it. There's a trick to it. There's a guy who had a sniper rifle and his buddy shot a pumpkin. He got on it and he was flying through the map and sniping people as he was flying.
Get this.
That's crazy.
I completely forgot. I didn't write it down. Speaking of crazy stuff they added, so they added the season shop. They added all these different pickaxes.
I'm scared, Steve.
They added bushes. It's a consumable. You can literally have 2 bushes.
Oh!
And you can walk around, use these little legs with a bush, and then you can squat, and it goes. Boop.
Well, that's Metal Gear and a
There
half.
we go.
Let's-
And look, the last one we won, there were 6 guys left.
and they all had
And
bushes.
No, we were bushes.
They had
and
bushes.
we had bushes, and I had a
A
purple
portable bush.
portable.
What's the name of this
what's-
episode? Portable bush.
What was crazy is it's great because when you're running,
Portable bush
it's
64.
fine. But then, of course, you can stand. But if you squat, but then when you hit the left trigger to zoom up, it goes into where the bush is clear now, and you can see completely
right
clear.
on.
And so I had the sniper rifle, and we were throwing these people for a loop because they didn't know where it was coming from. We was like,
Well, I kind of want to play now because that's my. I used to just run from bush to bush and snipe. So that sounds like.
Now, I mean, if you're stupid, you're just moving around. You stick out like a sore thumb. But if you're real slow and patient, you just creep.
Metal Gear.
sit.
That's how I
Yeah,
play Metal Gear.
Yeah. So I completely forgot about that. So I'm done with that. That's all I've been playing. Yeah. So Fortnite and Odyssey.
Steve.
Well,
Steve just drew a guy sleeping. You
I don't
bored,
know, that's
Steve?
the first thing that came to my mind.
You bored,
Let's do it.
Steve?
No, not
Steve,
really.
tell us what you've
Notice
been
I had
playing.
a backwards Z right there. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, so I got into, I've been craving for a good Star Wars game to play. So
Yeah, they threw away the one we
Well,
thought we
you
were
can
gonna get.
you can stay craven because you're not going to get a new one for a long time.
Well, I decided to jump back into the Old Republic.
That's the MMO, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
And I don't know. I find it really fun in the single. Like I call it single player mode because I don't ever get in contact with anybody.
Yeah.
But they just had a huge server migration where they kind of consolidated some servers. Now I'm running into people.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's an MMO, you want to.
And I just stumbled upon these forums looking for some information on the Old Republic. You know, like just so that I could get back into the game and not be so rusty. And I found in somebody's signature that they had like an invite thing, and I clicked on it, and I gave me a free sub for 7 days, so I'm a subscriber for 7 days.
Oh. Ow!
Better make sure it doesn't auto-subscribe you.
Well, I don't put my debit card in there, so it can't.
Okay, there you go.
But I mean, like, I've got everything unlocked now.
Nice.
That's cool.
I think
So
I've
it's
got
an
it unlocked forever.
So it's an experience boost. You can play those races.
It's an experience boost now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to feel like a penalty. Like it used to be like
It used to be rewards you couldn't get.
It used to feel like exactly. It used to feel like that. They upped the experience boost, and plus it's also double XP right now because of the server merge.
Yeah.
So like I'm like flying up levels,
Okay.
and I don't know, man. It's in my opinion such an underrated MMO. I mean, it's not too easy. It's not too complicated either.
There's a story.
Like when it first came out, it was so hard. Like I couldn't stay alive for nothing, and I'm just trying to do the story mode. And I'm like, I can't do this. Then I got back into it, and I was like, hey, it's easy now. But then it was like, okay, it just kept teasing me like, you're not a subscriber, you're missing out on all this cool stuff, and it didn't feel like. It felt like I was being penalized as far as my XP is concerned, instead of like getting a bonus for subscribing.
Yeah, I remember that really turned me off to that
But
game.
now,
Yeah, we jumped back into that.
but
time.
now they changed it to where it's like you do get a bonus for being a subscriber, but you don't feel as penalized. Like I'm still flying up levels. Now I'm really flying up levels now that I got that free subscription.
Yeah.
There is some stupid stuff that you have to be a subscriber to get, or you can
races,
or you can unlock. No,
I don't know what it was.
or you can unlock through the cartel coins, and you could get 100 cartel coins a month just for having a security key attached to it, like the little app to log in.
The cartel coins is like the microtransaction funds.
But
right?
you could get cartel coins for free.
Right. Yeah.
With a security key.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I think they're my tier 2 that I explained to you guys, like the middle tier for microtransactions. They're not like horrible, but it's not.
They're not the bad guy, but they're not the good guy. They're just kind of like, hey, we're trying to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean,
still
in all
make a lot of
honesty,
it.
I'll say this much: I think it's the friendliest free to play. Like it's the best free to play experience in an MMO because they don't jip you as bad. Like there's some stupid stuff like you can't remove your helmet, customize if you're not a subscriber. But once you become a subscriber, I know it's random.
That's random.
You also can't do in-game petitions. You have to email them if you want that, which is kind of silly, but you know whatever.
I just hate that my PC is dead because I've seen your Snapchats about you playing it, and I was like, kind of. Like, there's a small part of me is like, man, I really kind of miss that game, but my PC is just
the story is really
Best Buy
good.
got a good PC sale going on.
Yeah.
The story's really good, honestly. You got to commend BioWare for the stories that they
Oh
put together.
yeah, BioWare does a great
Each
job.
class has its own independent story, and they're pretty good.
I do
And
appreciate that they give you the freedom. Even if this doesn't make any sense, but even if you want to play a sympathetic bounty hunter, you can do that.
if you want to play a light side Sith
Yeah, which is what
Lord, you can do that. Like there are options that you can do, and I feel like for example, like you're faced with an option: you can either kill a guy to get dark side points, or you can spare him for light side points. You know, and it's just like unrestrained role play. Like if you want to role play a dark Jedi or a light Sith, you can do that. You know. And even the
Dark Jedi doesn't make sense, but it's cool to let you do it.
It's cool that they let you
But
do
it doesn't make any
None of
sense.
it makes any sense. But it's still cool that you can do it.
Right.
I mean, you can make it make sense if you if you want them hardcore role players that like come up with their own backstory. Like
I'm like Anakin before he went to the dark side, but it wasn't necessarily like right before he killed the younglings, but right after him and
Exactly.
Obi-Wan went to that one club that one time, and the lady shot him. It wasn't the lady with the gun.
But man, I gotta say, no,
I was waiting for you to
I don't
pick
even
something
know.
out of your beard.
I don't
You
even
were
know.
so-
No, I just
pick some out of your beard and eat it.
Like
But
you call Cornelius.
what I gotta say though, man, all right, get it out. Yeah. The art style in the game, though. The art style in the game is pretty cool. Like the equipment and stuff. Like man, like that Snapchat I sent you of my character. Like my character looks really cool.
Yeah.
That-
Dual
that-
line
yeah,
lightsaber.
Double-bladed lightsaber, and then you could do like the Sith Marauder, and you got like double lightsaber, two lightsabers or something.
Oh yeah, no, I actually love the counselor. He was a race or a class I really thought.
Yeah.
I like the counselor. How you doing, Fred?
How you doing?
Come to my office. Come on in.
Most of the gameplay is in the office.
Let's talk
but
about your feelings. Let's talk about your feelings. How you feel today? Well, I
epic pin.
killed a youngling today.
Killed a youngling today.
Oh no.
A single youngling.
But I mean, it's just really cool. Like you get your own, you're in the story, you get your own ship, you fly from planet to planet. It starts off like in the story, it's a cold war between the Sith Empire and the Republic, not a full blown war. And for those of you who don't know, a cold war is like the tensions are high, but there's no
Everybody
war.
talking crap.
It's
Yeah.
proxy wars.
Everybody
you know?
talking crap. Yeah.
Yeah, like the story in some of these places are really great. Like it's always like a little civil war where it's like, okay, we're not like fighting the Republic, but we're like supporting each side on the civil war. Like you get to Alderaan, there's a civil war on Alderaan. You got House Organa, that's pro-Republic, and House Thule, which is pro-Empire, and they're like fighting each other, but the Empire's like kind of like pushing the cattle prod, like. But I mean, I think they do the story very well, and I think it's
BioWare.
for an MMO. I mean, World of Warcraft's got a pretty good story.
Go kill 5 boars in that field, traveler.
I'll give you a Pringles.
No, I'm not Zavala. No, I'm
I'm an orc.
Balala. His cousin.
Go kill those boars, and
The blue orc.
I'll give you a cake.
The blue orc. But I mean, a lot of the stuff that you have to do, a lot of stuff you have to do in the game that's quest wise has like meaning to it.
And the quests have stories.
Like a brief example, Sith Inquisitor, he absorbs ghosts to help defeat a really powerful Darth. It's spoilers, but the game's been out for a long time.
Yeah, you have to spoil this one.
But I mean, and then he tries to use the ghost, but then he starts deteriorating. So you have to go to these planets and like uncover these long lost secrets of ancient Darth, and it's really cool,
Very cool.
Really, really cool. I mean, I like it. I really do. It's one of the MMOs that I get in the mood for and get out of. Like, I'm out of that EverQuest mood, now I'm in the Sword Farm mood.
Who knows, man? If it's free, I might download it and play it.
It's really fun. If you play it, I'll make a character with you, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks, dude.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, the frog.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna make Bill Paxton the...
Bill Paxton, he's
Sith
supposed to be the
Sith Lord.
supposed to be the Froglock Shadow Knight.
R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
He wound up being the Froglock Wizard.
So that's all you've been playing, Steve?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool, let's jump into gaming news.
Gaming news.
Here's a quick one. Zelda DLC, did you see this?
DLC!
There's Link is getting a new set of armor in Breath of the Wild in celebration of Xenoblade. He's getting, I believe the character's name is Rex from Xenoblade.
Okay.
It's Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah.
It's coming out, but he gets his armor set. It looks really cool, and they kind of made it look, they kind of Breath of the Wild-fied it. Because it has like the little cogs of the
because it's techno.
Yeah, it looks very cool. And
What's the name of the Xenoblade character in Smash?
Shulk.
Yeah.
Shulk.
Look
at that red sword.
I'm really feeling it, guys.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of interested to see Xenoblade. I might pick that one.
Yeah, I always wanted Chronicles.
Xenoblade MMO.
Alright, so that one was if that one just would have been an MMO, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Which it kind of was, but you weren't encouraged to play with your friends. That's why it was a bad.
I think if they re-released that on the Switch, it would do much better.
I think if they re-release anything on the Switch, it'll do much better.
I mean, the Wii U just wasn't that popular of a console.
Speaking of the Switch,
Oh yeah, Switch it up, baby.
Switch now has Hulu. If you go look on your eShop, that you can go download it for free. Hulu. And apparently more to come. Well, that was when the Switch first came out. We're like, man, why don't we have like Netflix and Hulu and all?
Well, they're
this stuff?
supposed to.
So now it's gonna be steadily
It's finally
coming
out.
So, bruh, Wi-Fi, sitting in the coffee shop, watching Hulu on your Netflix. You don't have to on your little phone.
I'm not gonna get any work done anymore.
No.
I already don't get much work done.
So
Daniel's watching this, so got your pink slip for you when you come to work.
November 17th, The Sims 4 comes to console.
Oh.
Look,
That's me and Julie's anniversary.
hate it or love it, I got a sweet spot in my heart.
You want to be
The
roommates?
Sims.
You want to be roommates?
Bruh, I'm getting it. It's only $50.
Me and Britt played The Sims on PS2.
Yes, we did.
Because I mean,
we played
essentially,
on the computer too. We had on the cheats, remember?
But you could play co-op.
Rosebud.
Yeah.
Co-op.
simoleons.
Yeah,
I love building, getting the cheats and putting them in there in the console, and then building this just extravagant
Estate.
Yeah, estate.
Yeah.
My houses were always plain, just like the Minecraft house. It was just a gray wall and a square with rooms.
Oh man, no, the building tools on The Sims are incredible.
Yeah.
Me and Brad used to rebuild houses that we knew, like the same floor plans.
Right.
And if you have an inner architect like you,
Right.
then it's fun just to, you can kind of bend the rules a little bit, but for the most part it has to be like legitimately built correctly.
Oh yeah.
You can't just have like a floating piece of island.
I like
there.
killing the Sims.
Yeah, that's
Put them in the room with no doors, or put them in the pool with no ladders.
One time I had the Grim Reaper come, and then I locked him in my doorless house too. I added a door for the Grim Reaper to walk in. I locked him in, and he's like, and then the little Sim language, you know.
Come on, Kalulu. Oh, garage.
Tayana.
But that didn't know. It's cool because when 4 came out for the PC, they were kind of lacking a bunch of things, Ghost, the toddler mode, and everything. So all that's been added with DLC. Well, now that you get it for the console, it's all Schliff Bamboo.
Yeah, that's kind of how they did it for the console.
Schliff Bamboo.
Schliff Bamboo.
That's kind of how they did it for the
Spell
other
that
console
one.
Sims.
Is that the episode title? Schliff Bamboo?
Schliff
64?
Schliff Bamboo 64.
Alright, that's it. Schliff Bamboo.
I thought it was.
Anybody else got some more news? I got more stuff.
Portable. It's either going to be Portable Bush.
Well, I got a little squirter real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt out.
Sure.
I love that. Anyway, Overwatch gonna have a free weekend November 17th.
Nice.
For those of you who want to play Overwatch, want to try
Yeah,
Overwatch,
the same date I was talking about.
or want
for
to
the
be
Sims.
cheapskates like me who can't afford to get
You
it.
can get
but still
Overwatch
wants to
for like
play it.
$10 right
Still
now.
gonna play it for free.
Bruh, pick that game up. You pick it up, man. I'll play with you. It,
I need to pick it up.
it's
The next
it's
time I see it for $10, I'm getting
My
it.
brother-
aneurysm inducing sometimes.
My brother tries to play it competitively.
I have to play it with Megan and Paul.
Man, my brother, what's that star thing? Did you get like a star ranking or something that's really good?
I don't know what the star ranking is, but
My brother was really close to getting like a really good ranking.
Yeah.
I think that star. I don't know. what it is.
the competitive level gets toxic.
And
though. Stay
and
away from
then
it.
and then he like went on a losing streak and lost it.
Yeah, you
'Cause
gotta drop
apparently-
back down.
Apparently, you can go up and drop back down.
Yeah,
It's like a rank.
your rank can
Oh, it's
fluctuate,
like Hearthstone.
fluctuate
bro.
depending on how well you're doing, or bad. Yeah.
But yeah, it's free.
Hey, speaking of The Sims and
my
Maxis
anniversary.
Studios and all that stuff,
that's another-
that's owned by EA.
There's another company
yeah,
that EA
yeah,
took
EA
out back
abs-
and shot in the head.
Right?
I don't know. I'm not too worried just yet. But they
Look at the
acquired
flowers, Maxis.
they acquired Respawn Entertainment for $400 million.
Respawn Entertainment makes games like Titanfall 2.
And the cool thing about
Rest in
Respawn
peace,
is
Respawn.
it was started by the original two guys that started Infinity Ward, makers of the original Modern Warfare 2, and at the end Modern Warfare 3 before they left.
They made Call of Duty in general, huh?
I don't know if they worked on. It was just Infinity Ward started on Modern Warfare.
Okay.
So these two guys left right about the Ghosts time and made Titanfall, and they made Titanfall 2, which is a great success, and that's why a lot of people are worried about the acquisition.
haven't touched
But
it.
it's an EA published game to begin with, so they're already a partnership.
Well, yeah, but the problem is a lot of people think that EA is going to take the reins and be like, hey, microtransactions to
Yeah,
death.
yeah, right, correct.
Literally microtransaction it to death.
And then they're gonna bring it out back and put it down like they did
the
everything else.
the CEO
No,
of
I don't think they're going to put it down just yet.
Oh no, it's gonna be a while. They're gonna milk it
Because it has more concurrent customers
Yeah.
than something like Visceral would have had.
But once
Because
the cow
Visceral-
stops milking, they're gonna take it out back and put it down.
Visceral was all about single player, so they just
But
killed it.
I don't know unless EA really just vastly corrupts it. I mean, there's already a microtransaction thing in the system. Well, I know,
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but there's already a microtransaction system already in play in Respawn. Or in Titanfall 2.
I agree. I'm
with
not-
the skins and
I
stuff.
don't
So
make
I don't
everybody
think-
hate your company.
I don't. Well, the point I'm
microtransactions.
making, other than the loot box scandal, is I say scandal, whatever
It was
situation, is I don't know,
debacle.
yeah, I don't know how they could make it worse.
Fiasco.
I mean, I know they could, is what I'm saying, but I don't know how they can make it worse because there's already a microtransaction system. But they have stated Respawn on better news.
I agree. The only thing I'm worried about is their stuff they're working on now, like that
Correct.
VR project.
VR project.
Which I don't
there's
think
the
you
Star
can
Wars.
do microtransactions in VR just yet.
I don't know how you do it.
Not really many people do that.
There's a
We
Star
run out-
Wars game
can't
in
think
development,
of one.
and then there is, of course, on a continuing Titanfall series game.
Hey, I have a
franchise.
I have kind of a weird news story. I'm sorry, were you done?
And that's it.
This is my last news story, by the way. You see GameStop's doing a rental program?
No.
GameStop's doing a rental
Really?
program where you can... It's kind of like Blockbuster's old rental program where
Blockbuster Legends. Is
where
that
you
what it's
where,
called?
where you could rent a game.
Yeah.
Well, now you go and you get a used game, any used game, and you can rent it. I think there's a price. I think it's like $60 a month. No, not $60.
Can't
a
be that
month.
high.
No, it's I forget what the price is, but basically you get to bring home a used game and you keep it for however long you want, and
long
then
as
you
you
bring
bring
that one back, and then you get another
It's
used
kind
game.
of like GameFly.
It's like GameFly, yeah, except you just have to go to their physical store to actually.
And
pick
here's
up.
what you do: you hold on to it, and then when the company goes bankrupt, you get to keep it. Like what
But
happened with Blockbuster.
the last game you hold on to, if your subscription goes up, you can just keep that game.
Well, that's. I mean, you know, we've always knocked on GameStop, but a lot of ways they're doing some pretty cool things to stay competitive with other.
Here's the problem, though. They're not trying to stay competitive because if they wanted to. They could just do like GameFly and just send it from a giant warehouse. What they're doing is they're trying. So, video games, unless you sell a game
Trying to push
used,
them used games.
unless you get a game used, then the profit margin is not that
Not
high.
really.
So, but used games, the profit margin is extremely high depending on what game it is.
Because they give you like $1 for
But
it. And they turn around
here's
and
the
sell it
thing:
for full price.
is that they're having you come back to the store and bring things back and forth because they're getting you in the store.
Yeah, well,
They've got all that merchandise
No,
in there.
I would say the
They're-
point that I was talking with Jamin is because the guy that
smart
runs the
business
GameStop
tactic.
there. What it is
Gotta
because
give him credit.
I was like, man, y'all getting a lot of merchandise, and the merchandise in the store, at least the one in Central, is like really good. I was like, man,
It's not bad.
I'm wearing the merchandise.
Well,
some,
it
some
depend-
Fallout socks.
I think it depends on your
your store
district
and your
manager and all
manager.
that.
But the point I was making is like, man, like he's like, yeah, we're consolidating a lot of the games. We're not selling 360 and PlayStation 3 anymore. I was like, well, that makes sense. And he goes, but we're trying to stay competitive competitive with digital market. The digital market is very, and I mean, I get it. Like,
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Digital market's gonna be
GameStop will go
definitely
under if
stop.
not.
But that's how this is their response is to get people back in the store, and then they can push more product. And
Sure.
Of course, my biggest reason I hate GameStop is because I hate going to a GameStop and you have that cocky guy behind the counter, and
Sure.
instead of like the guy, his name was Jamin. Jamin, that guy's really cool. I've dealt with him a few times, and he doesn't. He does his job. He says, "Hey, would you like to pick this up?"
Yeah, he sells it,
That's
yeah.
his job. I get it.
Yeah.
But I hate whenever people are telling me what I want.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And then I'd say like 9 times out of 10 when I go into GameStop, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hate that.
Well, Brandon, when Brandon got his PlayStation 4, he had a guy tell the other worker at GameStop, like, no, get him the used copy. Like, I don't want the used.
But they're incentivized to do that. But like I specifically told him, I was like, hey, can I get this game? I would like it. You know, if I can get a game brand new, I'm gonna get it brand new. I don't know. It's just me. I don't know. It's just the way I like it.
Right.
But
He's gonna bring it back in 2 weeks. It's still sitting up there.
it's still up there. I play it. I've beaten that game. I actually got the platinum trophy in it too.
Yeah.
But
Two on horn.
but I hate whenever I go in like I went to a GameStop the other day and I was looking for a specific thing. I had a gift card and I was like, hey, I would like to get $20 in Steam cash and $20 in PlayStation cash.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh well, what kind of games do you like? And I was like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for a game. I'm here for the cash. And he's like, well, you know, Wolfenstein's coming out. That's a shooter. Do you like shooters? And he's like, try to tell me what games were coming out. And what I was like, dude, look, you're talking to the wrong guy. I just want these things. I know what's coming out.
Yeah.
I know everything
Yeah.
there is to know about gaming.
I know more than you.
I'm not trying to be like, hey, I'm better than you, but I'm just like, hey, give me what I want.
Yeah.
And
Like
just-
Ron Swanson on the.
Go ahead, give us give me the
well,
card.
Shout out to GameWare. I go into GameWare. I say, hey, can I get that $20 PSN card? They're like, okay, anything else?
Yeah.
No, that's it. All right, thanks, bye.
Like Ron Swanson on a Parks and Rec when he goes to Lowe's and he's like, "Can I help you?" I know more than you.
Pretty much. Thanks, Steve. I'm like the Ron Swanson of video gaming, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll show you that.
I get it.
I think I
I
have
get
to
it.
make
I'm
that.
not trying to say I support GameWare, but at the same time, it's just what these guys, it's the upper management guys are telling them to sell. And
Correct.
And GameWare doesn't have to. And I'm not
GameStop or GameWare?
No, I'm saying GameWare doesn't have to because they have their own unique market, so they don't have to push new games and sell them. Like
Yeah,
GameStop
they have the
does.
benefit of having loyal Baton Rouge
Well,
customers.
and then they're obviously their retro collection is so huge.
That too, yeah.
So
They had an
they have that
unopened
behind
box.
there, and I'm not saying that the guys being
Sorry.
not pushy is, but it is a little
They
less
just-
pressure.
I feel like
Sure.
the guys are like, please buy something.
But hey, I mean, GameStop knew
Good
the
thing I don't
market
work there,
without doing that
because I'd
stupid
never be able to
online
do
service
that.
to buy the retro games. They could do that too. But anyways, we'll get off on GameStop.
But hey, maybe a topic
Ooh.
for another day.
Yeah, sure.
You guys want to go? You got another?
I got one more thing. real
I'm
quick.
ready
I'll
for
just
this
go
main
over it.
topic.
It is a on the radar. I hadn't had it on the radar
Oh, yeah.
since we
Hit
started
me up.
back. So it's called Air, Ascent Infinite Realm. It is made by the publishers. Not made by. It's published by the guys Bluehole with PUBG. Now the guys PUBG have no involvement with it because that's a different development company. It's like they use the same thing. I forget their company called. It's actually made by the guys. This kind of worries me a little bit. It's made by the guys that did Terra, Kakao or whatever. Terra Online. I don't know if you heard of that game. It's got a very good, big, strong. It's a very heavy Korean MMO. Kind of, you know, that real fantasy, scantily clad, and all that fancy.
I know what you're talking about now.
You know, but what makes this really cool is the steampunk, and like everything is in the air.
I saw that. It's an MMO, isn't it?
Yeah, everything is in the air. Like starts off, it shows the characters flying. They got these wingsuits on, like not wingsuits like a squirrel suit, but like wings attached to the back of them, and they're like spin, like kind of like angels, but it's a suit. But then it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. You're in the air doing combat, and it shows the different classes. Okay, that's pretty cool. But then it starts kicking things up. Boom! Starts doing some steampunk mechs. You know, driving the mechs and shooting each other. I'm like,
Jacob's
okay.
old.
I'm like, all right, you got me there. And then this guy's driving this little, looks like a pirate ship, but it's steampunk, and it's a little spaceship flying through the air, and he's shooting cannons in the front. I'm like, all right, it's pretty cool. This is cool. He's having combat with dragons in the air, and he has combat with other people. I'm like, all right, good, you got me. Then the whole clan, the tank, all the typical RPG genre, they all jump off on this platform. I'm like, what are they jumping onto? One chick grabs a cannon, another chick grabs a cannon, the guy grabs the helm. It's a big old friggin' pirate ship, and it flies off, and they're fighting other pirate ships in the air, docking on each other like in the World of Warcraft.
Can you wear goggles?
I'm sure somewhere in there they've got to have some goggles.
Can you wear goggles?
Can you wear
Bro,
goggles?
it's a steampunk
It's a
game.
steampunk
That was the joke.
If they don't have goggles, it's not steampunk.
That was the
Now,
joke.
I don't
It's
know.
a joke, son.
Watching the trailer, watching these sky battles, like there's all these ships, and even the trailer was like chugging. Now, again, obviously, this is early access, and we don't know what its platform is going to be for. It's going to be PC only. I'm assuming maybe, since it's Terra, probably PC only.
We'll watch the trailer. We'll watch it.
You know, we're supposed to be getting Terra Online for PlayStation as well. It's supposed to drop this year. So, anyways.
It looks
keep
to
your
me
eye
like-
on it.
Nice on the radar.
Thank
Nice
you.
return of the radar.
Yeah,
Turn of the radar.
I'll have to show you the video afterward. It looks pretty interesting.
Hey, you know what? I've got a really good commercial. I know exactly what it is this time.
I agree with you this
know
time.
You know this commercial?
I think this will be a good commercial.
Roll that Super Smash Brothers commercial for the 64.
Me and you and me. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you. Happy together.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo. Introducing Super Smash Brothers, where all your favorite characters go toe-to-toe in one 4-player star-studded slam fest, only on Nintendo 64.
So we're talking about the Nintendo 64 because this is episode 64. That commercial, I remember seeing that. I was like, why are my favorite Nintendo characters beating the crap out of each other? And that's
Oh, it
because-
wasn't just fighting; they were like throwing down.
Yeah, beating the crap out of each other, and that song fit perfect. That's one of my
Game!
That's like my favorite game commercial. I think.
Okay.
I love that commercial. I remember it. It stuck with me all these years.
I remember.
So, someone tell me about the first time they played the Nintendo 64.
First, you gotta go last, Steve.
All right, I'll
go
go.
last. You're the
Jacob, you wanna go
master.
first?
Yeah, mine's real quick. It was just playing in a neighbor's house. We were staying the night at a neighbor, and we're like, bro, my mom's getting me a 64 tonight. And I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, we're gonna have a sleepover. And I think there was apparently supposed to be like a eclipse or like a full moon or something.
Screw that.
Some crazy moon event was going on outside too. But they got the 64, and of course they had Mario. And I think my first actual just experience of playing around with it, I didn't really play Mario 2 in depth. We watched the friends play it, but we got to just play around Mario's face, grab his nose.
Yeah, and you had to use this.
Yes.
You had to use this thing.
First time we encountered a thumbstick.
The Nintendo 64 controller. What'd you think about this thing?
I wrote down, I was confused.
Looks like a spaceship.
I wrote it down, I confusingly liked it. Because compared to the Super Nintendo, it was like, oh man, thumbstick, but then you hold it like, okay, this is a little awkward.
Yeah,
but then I still enjoyed it because it was neat, it was different. And then this was what sold me.
The trigger.
Yeah,
the Z button.
The
trigger.
beginning of the trigger system.
So, Nintendo is always the innovator of everything when it comes to gaming. And so, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but with the Super Nintendo... Alright, let's go to the evolution of controllers real quick.
Sure.
So, the NES controller, it was the first controller with a D-pad. Mm-hmm. SNES controller, first one with 4 face buttons. That pattern has been followed ever since.
And you know that
Oh, yeah, definitely.
the Super Funcom that was in Japan,
Famicom. Mhm.
was in Japan. The guy, I don't know the guy's name. The guy that actually did that was architect on the Super Nintendo.
Was it Gunpei Yokoi? I think did he
No,
make
it was
the
an
controller?
English guy.
Or did he make the...
This is just
He's an English sounding guy. But no, what he took the controller. The what did you say, Famicom?
Famicom?
I always pronounce it wrong.
Family computer.
It all
Famicom.
was which one's convex? Which one's the one up?
That's
Concave is in, so
Yeah,
convex. All of those were convex. So he said he had the idea of making some concave convex.
Correct.
So you could feel, okay, this is A. This
So not
is
only
Y.
that, but every controller ever
Right.
since
Has
always
always
had 4 face
evolved.
buttons.
Yeah.
4 face buttons, and it's always been the same order. They just swap around the buttons. So
Sure.
Nintendo set the standard there, and then Nintendo set the standard. Now the joysticks have been done before on the Atari.
Atari had a
They were
joystick.
never done.
But before
So
PlayStation,
perfectly.
Yeah.
PlayStation didn't have their analog sticks yet or
Not yet.
anything, but they had the thumbstick, and in every game used it, and it just felt right. So whenever I used to play PS1, going from PS1's regular controller to the analog, it was jarring to me at first
Yeah.
because it felt so different. But this always felt natural to me. But now, of course, the dual analog is the standard now.
Sure.
So PlayStation kind of went up them
PlayStation
on
said,
that one.
"Cool, we're not gonna put 1. We're gonna put 2.
Right. Now, PlayStation did good because they kind of set that standard as well. Like, I always point over there.
we're not
Brad
talking
made that.
about
But, I mean, shoulder buttons. And now, this was their replacement for a second thumbstick, was the
Definitely,
C
yeah.
buttons, which worked. Not quite as well as having a second
Yeah,
stick.
that was the
They
thing.
worked in the way that they needed to work.
Now, I don't have
The
one
C
laying
buttons
around.
confused me because they just I couldn't always tell where.
in
I
all
was
honesty, one of the
sometimes.
greatest shooters of all time was on here, and it did not
But-
have 2 sticks.
And you know what's something else that made this controller really special? Slapping that Rumble Pack.
Oh,
HD,
yeah.
the HD Rumble Pack.
The Rumble Pack.
Not
This
HD,
was
but
the
yeah.
first controller to have Rumble. Force feedback came with Star
Force feedback,
Fox.
thank you.
Now it was a separate peripheral, but still though, like it
Yeah,
was
you
huge.
slap that mug in like a cartridge and a gun, and then you're playing Star Fox, and you're like, whoa, dude! I can feel the
You get the
boost.
Stone of Agony and Ocarina of Time, and it starts rumbling. You're like, whoa!
There's something here. I can feel it. you know?
What's going on here?
But very cool, and you can also put memory cards in there in case
Sure.
for some reason your cartridge didn't save. Some of them did that.
Mario Kart
Like-
64 was one of the only ones that did that. As far as ghosts, you couldn't save
Oh,
ghosts.
Ghost. Yeah, well, Cruising World also didn't have a save feature at all, unless you had a memory card.
Sure.
There was another one that was just so frustrating about not having the built-in memory. I can't remember though.
I don't know. But, Steve, I guess I'll go.
Yeah, you go.
I told the story before. I played the N64 at a birthday party that I was drug into by my brother. I can barely remember this, actually.
I know the story.
I remember these kids, they went outside to go play, and the boy had gotten an N64 for his birthday. I remember everyone was outside. I was like, hey, I want to check this thing out. I remember playing it, and like I said, it just felt so right to play, and I was playing Mario 64, and I just picked it up. I could pick it up and play it. It was so easy. I mean, the control. Now, at first, I was like, I don't get why there's a second handle. And, you know, if they cut that off and just left that, you know, other than the L button being missing, that would just be perfect. And just like that.
In all honesty, I liked having that right there. Kind of rest my hand against it. You know? It's like your hand fits in there.
Sort of. I never really understood why they put that on there. But I remember
in case,
playing it, and I remember seeing, like, wow, this is 3D. All these worlds are like, I can go anywhere in here. I can do it's free roam.
Yeah.
I was playing Mario 64, and then I remember the kids came in, they saw me playing. They're like, oh my god, how's this kid doing this? And I was like, I'm Brandon.
Because I'm the G,
Brandon.
baby.
I'm Brandon. But that was my first experience with the 64. And the 64 is actually, I've told the story as well, this is the generation we skipped. Because Brent had a 64.
Yeah, I didn't have one.
And curse you, Brent, for selling it for a paintball gun.
Y'all didn't really skip it. Y'all were in it, but then Brent took y'all out of it. But
We had it for like maybe half a year. Brent sold the 64 for a paintball gun, and I never got it ever
Yeah, I
again.
skipped
But
it. I went
I used to
Super
play it at
Nintendo to
Steve's house.
PlayStation.
But that's why I played Super Nintendo for so long. And I also went to PlayStation because Brad had one.
Steve,
And he didn't sell that.
Yeah.
Steve,
Well, the 64 is my stomping grounds. I mean, that's really what made me into the gamer that I am today. Now, granted, I did have a Nintendo Entertainment System. I did have a Super Nintendo, and I played those a lot. But the 64 is really when I got into gaming. Now, first time I'd ever played the 64 was at my next door neighbor's house. He got it, and we played Mario Kart, and that was just. It's just like this is a whole new thing, you know. I mean, you're so used to seeing these flat, you know, pixels on the screen moving around, and then you go into this 3D world. Well, I can remember the day before my birthday, I knew I was getting it. I mean, I was the bad kid. I would go snoop around at my presents. When my mom and them had their presents, I never opened it, but I'd go shake it. I knew that was.
I hope your parents are listening right
I
now.
knew that was, I'd shake it, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't."
I'm
wait
gonna
to
cut
see
this video out. This one part, I'm gonna make a video of it and stuff. I'm gonna send to your mom.
it." I mean, they know I would shake my presents. I do that today. Like I go.
No,
go
not
to-
shake. I was like,
Go to Nadine's house. I go to Nadine's house. I'll shake my Christmas presents over there. I don't care. But man, y'all, I just remember staying up all night the day before I got it, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't wait. And I played the living crap out of this game, Super Mario 64. If you can't see it, put it in the console. That game right there thrust me into the world of gaming.
that's pretty crazy.
It's just, I mean, gosh,
I was pretty seasoned by the time I played that.
but I mean, don't get me wrong though. Like I played a lot of video games, and I loved video games a lot. Okay, like I played the crap out of my Super Nintendo, but that game is when I hit the next level.
That's a dang near perfect game in its own right.
Oh, it was great. Oh,
That was
man.
the Super Mario Odyssey of its time.
Well, just being able to just jump into the pictures and just experience this brand new world is like
open worlds.
a whole new.
Yeah, I remember it just sets you. The very first scene just sets
Bomb
you.
on Battlefront.
It sets you in the castle grounds, and then
Yeah.
you're just like, oh. Well, no, there's no music. It's just you hear the birds chirping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just sets you in the castle
Can't
grounds,
remember.
and you're just like, oh, I can move, and then you're just free roaming in the castle grounds. Then you go in the castle, and then you find the door. You can go in, and you go in the painting.
Man, I could just remember thinking to myself like having the controller in my hand, sitting in my hand like this, and just like, man, I have a Nintendo 64. I have a Nintendo 64 now. This is amazing. Like, I don't know, like it was a huge deal for me back then. You know, I was just like, oh my
64-bit first 3D Nintendo console, so that helped
God.
out.
It was the big jump into the future of gaming, I guess you could say.
Sorry, audio listeners, I'm going to be putting cartridges in and out of the 64, so
Well-
for nostalgia's sake, you can just listen to the cartridges hitting the
Click.
Yeah,
the plastic.
clicking.
Same night, we stayed up all night playing 64, Mario 64, Mario Kart, and then this game, Pilot Wings 64.
Oh man, somebody mentioned Pilot Wings on my Facebook.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
We're gonna be reviewing
One of my favorite. Playing a gyrocopter, dude. Was just being able to fly around. That's first game I actually got to fly something.
It's really great.
To be honest,
that was kind of free roam too.
Yeah.
I really like that level when you can shoot.
because you can fly.
Oh, Mario head.
Yeah.
shoot the Mount Rushmore
Mount
Mario
Mario,
on there, and he turned into Wario.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Wario's better.
That
But
was
that
a boss
Z-button-
fight. That was a boss fight mission.
This is pre Star Fox for me. So I was getting to play that trigger because that trigger would hold
you.
the rocket and you could just let go of the trigger and it would shoot the rocket at the gyro. That was just so cool, man.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, I'm flying, shooting stuff, dude.
So many memories from this console,
Let's. I have a pile of games here. We're just gonna go through them and just kind of share experiences with those games, and because they all kind of have some sentimental value. But Mario Kart 64,
That's probably the first party game.
not my favorite Mario Kart,
Not mine either.
but this is a dang good game.
Yeah.
Especially because you can play up to 4 players and you can do Grand
Yeah.
Prix and
Well,
stuff.
to me, that was the first one. Now, obviously, they had Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo.
Correct.
But I played that one first, and that one, I mean, gosh, man, I mean, just like my mom, my dad, like we would get 4 controllers. It'd be me, my mom, my dad, my sister, and we'd all play. You know,
Yeah.
we'd all race each other.
let me play?
Chris was a baby when
You're always
that
cheap.
came out.
I think the unique thing that stood out for me from Mario Kart was having the Turtle Shells drag behind you.
Hey, another thing about this console to remember, by the way, is
Yeah.
the fact that there's 4 controller ports.
Yeah.
So multiplayer
Exactly.
was the every console
Center.
had its gimmick.
Yeah.
Multiplayer was Nintendo
There was
64's
not
gimmick.
another console that had 4 built-in controllers until the Xbox.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then after the Xbox, everybody took the leap into wireless controllers, solely wireless. But this was the only one that had 4 control spots built into it.
But the games you didn't need 4 controllers for, such as this game right here, this just so happens to be the collector's edition, Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Shut up.
Zelda Ocarina of Time. That is widely considered to be the best game of all time by a lot of different media outlets.
You can't argue. You know, you really can't argue with it. I mean, it is just a masterpiece from beginning to end. I can remember the first time I've ever played it. It's just I remember going to Blockbuster and it just stood out to me. Like it looked like a cool game. Like, let me see that box. Like
I actually have a regular
We have a-
version in that box,
inside
the gray
inside
one.
the box. I can remember going to Blockbuster and looking at this box because they had the boxes.
That's actually a special box, and it is moisture
It is.
damage, but that's the collector. No, is it the collector's one?
It's the Game of the Year edition.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
got
players.
the player's choice Game of the Year.
That
edition.
one's moisture damage.
Yeah, there is some moist damage. Moist. I don't like that word, but I like saying it. Anyway, I can just remember picking this up at Blockbuster and just like, man, this looks really cool. A sword and shield,
You ain't never played
looking
Zelda
at the
before
box-
that?
I was real young. I was real young, I was real young when I picked this up. I was 5 years old when it came out. I was probably 5 when I first played it.
You weren't 5 when this came out.
96. It came out in 96. I was 5 years old. in
You were
96.
5? Jeez, well, how old was I?
4.
I'm not saying.
You're a year younger than me.
Man,
I was,
I
I was a freshman in high
How old
school.
were you?
well,
Jacob, how old were you in
I was a
96?
freshman in
well,
high
I was
school.
thinking, dude, I forget that I played
He's
games.
old!
I'm sorry, well, I forget that I played games at such a young age, because I played Link to the Past.
I was 14.
Years
I played
before
I played them at a young age too. It's just that I didn't have. I mean, for some
Well,
reason,
I guess I had the benefit of older brothers, I
Yeah,
guess.
I was the oldest brother. I was the middle child, but the only games that I got to play were from my papa, and he liked a lot of the old school stuff. But
So
I guess he just skipped Zelda. But yeah, this was the first Zelda I ever played, and I brought it home on a whim, dude. Like, this was one of those games that I just like took a chance on at the time. You know,
Oh, what a big chance.
Well, I
what
remember,
a great decision I made. I was 5 years old, and I ran into the castle. I ran into the castle town. This was Adult Link after Hyrule was destroyed. I had no idea what was going on because I didn't start from the beginning at first. And so I just run into the town, and then there's these Redeads, and that was the first encounter I had with a Redead.
oh man, that stuff scared you for life.
Scarred me. Just having them things scream at you like, "Ah!" shit, and then they eat you, you know?
I remember playing this for the first time after playing Link to the Past, and Link to the Past, of course, resonated with me on a personal level because it was the first one I ever played. And a lot of times, whenever the first game you ever played in a franchise is typically your favorite. That's typically. But Ocarina of Time, it has its own special place in my heart as well. I still prefer Link to the Past because it's a little. I find this is my opinion on a lot of games. It's a little bit more concise, and I find the combat to be a little bit easier. This one was the targeting system. I felt made things a little too easy.
Well, they had to have the targeting system because then it would have been very difficult to be precise.
Right, but like I mean, they've almost mastered it by the time they've got. Now that we're at Breath of the Wild, 3D combat's a way more advanced than it was in this game. Because this one was just kind of like C button, arrow, the guy's dead. You know.
Not necessarily. It was hard to hit him with them arrows.
And you could also go in the first-person view as well, and do a little first-person.
Just for the arrows, though.
In the slingshot.
In the slingshot and the hook.
That was what was cool for me.
But man, the amount of time and money that they put into that game was just absolutely incredible. I mean, it just revealed a great product. You know, I mean, you just don't see games of that quality anymore. You don't.
I don't even have to hold this cartridge face. I like how it's damaged on the back. By the way, I actually have 2 copies of this game.
That's mine.
This is yours.
That's my copy.
This is yours.
It was from Blockbuster.
Does
it still have property of Blockbuster?
I have my own personal one back here, but I don't need to show you because it's that yellow banana pack. The banana pack. Donkey Kong.
That's the one I missed out.
Donkey Kong 64 was one of the few games that actually required. Now I have an off-brand one, but there's an expansion pack, the expansion booster.
To give you some more RAM.
It gives you more RAM so you can play more complicated games like Donkey Kong 64 or Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask required.
Wasn't there another game that required it?
There were some games that you got bonuses from.
Yeah, but those are the 2 big ones. But Donkey Kong 64, this is kind of in Rare's Renaissance period.
Back
and
when
the golden age.
Before the dark times.
But this is before... Donkey Kong 64 made the jump to 3D, and I used to be obsessed with Donkey Kong Country.
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh my gosh, I was obsessed with Country.
This is kind of a departure from that. This is... Now, Donkey Kong 64 actually has a bad reputation for being a really unnecessarily packed full of crap collectathon, which it kind of is. Let's be
it's still fun, though. It's still very fun.
It is, but it's almost unnecessary how much collectible stuff there is in this game.
I don't find it unnecessary at all, personally. But
you need to go back and play it.
I did. I 100%ed it last time I played it.
Because there's areas where... Like, there's red bananas that you can only get as Diddy Kong. So you had to go back to each level with each Kong.
Mm-hmm.
But not every level had, like, specific areas like Diddy Kong's jetpack or whatever. It was just like you had to go back there just for the sake of collecting those bananas and stuff. But I just wanted to bring this one up because of the expansion port.
That was the first one that required it, didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, they made the expansion pack for this game. And in all honesty, this is one of Rareware's 3 great titles on the 64. You know, bust that bad boy out. Let's talk about this.
So we're talking about we're talking about Rare's Renaissance. We can't talk about Rare Renaissance without this one right here, Banjo-Kazooie.
Another one I missed out.
Let me tell you something, guys. All right, Rare came out with 3 amazing games for the 64. Easily 10 out of 10. Maybe 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 for Donkey Kong 64. Banjo-Tooie, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Easily. I mean, it's just... They just don't make games like that anymore, man. Banjo-Kazooie...
They literally don't make games like that anymore.
Yeah, literally.
Hey man, I just realized that this is a Nintendo 64 actual rental case. I don't know where I got this from. I forgot where I bought my Banjo-Kazooie from. But anyway, I got that. Total side note. But Banjo-Kazooie is really cool. A lot of people say Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie are kind of for platformers on the Nintendo 64.
Okay.
Totally forgot the audio listeners there. It was a battle.
Yeah, battle.
Some people prefer Banjo-Kazooie. I know quite a few people who do.
Okay.
Some people prefer Mario 64. Now, me personally, what do I prefer more? What resonates with me more? Mario 64.
Mario 64 resonates with me, but in all honesty, I think they're tied.
But Banjo-Kazooie is a little bit more complex, which I like a little bit more. There's more than just go here, do that. This one has collectibles, and you have a lot more abilities to control
Yeah,
with
you have to.
combat-wise. With
right,
Mario, it was
both
just
of 'em.
you could do a punch, you could do a jump. With Banjo-Kazooie, there was egg shoots, egg farts. You could jump, you could fly. You had Banjo moves, you had Kazooie moves.
And Banjo-Kazooie was a brand new IP. That's
Banjo-Kazooie is actually an IP that came from another IP.
It came from another IP. Yeah, where's that one? Do you have that one?
No, I was
Oh!
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Project Dream?
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
It was an
Diddy Kong.
RPG game that was not going to be on
about
the.
Diddy Kong Racing.
No, I actually don't have the Diddy Kong Racing, which is a shame. And I am ashamed right now. But there was a Project Dream was going to be an RPG, a pirate RPG on the Super Nintendo, but it got carried on to the Nintendo 64, and then it eventually became a platformer and became a bear and a bird instead of a little boy with a sword, and it became Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, when I say new IP, I mean like nobody at the time nobody knew of all that stuff.
And there is actually remnants of that IP in this game, like the pirate. What was his name? Is it Blackbeard?
Is it Blackbeard?
I can't remember, but there's a pirate who looks like Blackbeard, and he was the bad guy in Project Dream, and he references Project Dream.
I think that might actually be in Banjo-Tooie.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
He's in the tavern or whatever.
That's Banjo-Tooie.
Okay, cool. So let's. I'm gonna grab all these games and let's just speed through these so we don't.
There's one in there I know it's my jam.
All right. So speaking of, actually I don't have it, but you can bring it up. I know.
Yeah, here we go.
So this console was based on multiplayer, 4 players at a time. What better game? Literally, what better party game is there? We talked about this before.
Mario Party.
Mario Party 2, which is my specific favorite.
Yeah, definitely. But you got to talk about Mario Party since it started.
Right, Mario Party basically is a collection of mini games, and it's like playing a board game, but it's virtual, and then there's mini games in between, and it's a lot more fun than just rolling some dice with your friends. It's interactive, it's fun.
Sure.
Mario Party, I can't tell you how many times we played Mario Party 2.
Oh my god.
Friendship ruiner.
I'm actually having a craving to play this right
My
now.
wife wants to come. She's like, "We'll go out to the Mario Party."
In Mario Party 2, it never gets old, man.
Yeah.
It never gets old.
Let's
Who's
plan
competitive?
another one. Let's plan another one.
Okay.
More of a multiplayer game. Now, my
man.
copy is apparently owned by Ryan Mullane. 007 GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Another rare.
So let me tell you, a lot of people say, "Oh, this is the granddaddy of all first-person shooters," and it very well may be the granddaddy of 3D first-person shooters. Because Doom has
Doom
this
has
beat.
the
Doom and
granddaddy.
Wolfenstein have this beat as far as date.
But that's the granddaddy of multiplayer.
Multiplayer.
But-
Say competitive shooters.
But this one, kind of, like I said, 4 controller ports. Jump in with your friends. You can play.
4-player split screen, trying to find each other. This is when screen looking became a thing.
Wear your rose-tinted glasses when you play this.
Oh.
Wear your rose-tinted glasses.
it's
I
hard.
actually
if you-
would prefer to play this on emulator. I know it's a shame to say. I would prefer to play this on emulator because it actually runs smoother because the frame rate in this drops. This game
rough.
chugs.
It's rough.
When there's explosions, this game chugs.
Yes,
But
it does.
on emulator, it runs a lot better, and you can actually use those 8-bit DOE.
Maybe one day we'll get to play it on a classic.
Like I don't know, maybe portable on a Switch. That'd be great.
Well, yeah.
No, you're not gonna see
I was thinking
that
of
one on
his
Switch.
64 classic.
Now here's an
I don't know. That'd be difficult.
Oh yeah, so Banjo-Tooie. This is a really quick one I'm
The
going to talk about.
sequel of Banjo-Kazooie.
So Banjo-Tooie is one of those examples of a sequel done right, where
Exactly.
it takes everything from the first game and just literally makes it twice as good.
I was just about to say, like, how many sequels have you heard have just been awful?
You start this game with all your abilities from the first game, and then you get more.
You get new abilities.
You get even more.
Back when game creators and developers were not lazy. Like, it's like, okay, we're not going to make you lose all your stuff inexplicably. We're going to keep that old stuff, and we're going to come up with some new stuff.
There was something rare about Rareware games.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace, good rare game.
Did you think about that one all day?
No. So this is an example of one of a game that I feel like was a down step. Yoshi's
I never
Story.
played that.
Really?
Never
Oh
played
man,
it at all.
I think that one was great. That one
Yoshi-
was
Is it
fun.
the side
This
scroll?
game is so easy.
Well, yeah, it's easy because it's Yoshi.
But Yoshi's Island is not easy.
Yeah, but Yoshi's Island is a different game, though.
Well, duh, it's a different
I think that
game.
one was specifically garnered to kids.
I don't know, but this was supposed to be the
Spiritual
follow-
successor, yeah.
Yeah, but to me it was a letdown. I remember playing this game. I beat this game in like 15 minutes.
Oh, I didn't think it was a letdown. That was great.
Go back and play it.
I will, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Go back and play it.
Stacked.
That game is very, very short. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it is just
There are no bad games except for Superman.
it is just
On the 64.
That is incorrect, Mister.
I'm sure there are. I just can't think of
You see
it.
how many of those thumb throughs at GameWare?
That is a
Yeah, you're right.
that one. It's not a bad game. Yoshi's Story. It's just, to me, it was a down step. Okay,
One day
go
I'll get to
listen.
that.
Go listen to any other podcast episode where Steven talks about Majora's Mask, because it is not my favorite Zelda. It's probably Steven's favorite Zelda.
It was my favorite until Breath of the Wild.
It's just very different for a Zelda game, and
see-
the cool thing about this one was that
different in a good way.
it had all the same assets as of Ocarina of Time, because this game was made on a time crunch. They had to get this game out, and they'd used all the same assets of Ocarina of Time. They just kind of made a new system for it all. And that's why this game is extremely similar to Ocarina of Time in the presentation of it, how it looks, but it plays nothing like it. Other than the combat system and the items you get, it's a completely different
I really
system.
like the clock system. I really like how everybody is on a set time, and it's like, the days are repeating themselves, essentially, and I really like that. I mean, I think that's what I really like. I really like the dark aspect about it. The best Zeldas were always the darker ones. Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild to an extent. It's not as dark as the other ones.
Not as dark as Majora's Mask, for sure.
No, Majora's Mask is definitely the
And
dark.
Majora's Mask has like that. It's even darker if you think about it.
Twilight Princess.
You didn't catch it when you were a kid?
Twilight
Right.
Princess and Majora's Mask are like tied for the darkest Zeldas, in my opinion. I think that one takes the cake because of the impending apocalypse.
Majora's Mask takes it.
Another rare game.
Another
People
rare
are just
game,
oblivious to it.
which is owned by Daniel Venti with some heartograms on there.
Damn, Margera Hard.
Jet Force Gemini. I remember this is a huge.
Never played that one.
When this IP came out, it was a huge deal. I remember that my cousins actually had a
It was
VHS
great.
tape.
It was really great.
They had one of those Donkey Kong VHS tapes, and this was. They were like, "We're talking about Jet Force Gemini." They must have said the words Jet Force Gemini a million times.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this game. I was like, "Oh, it's pretty good. It's okay.
It's an underrated game, in my
It's
opinion.
underrated.
I
think it's okay.
think it's not talked about enough, in my opinion. I think it was really good. I think it was really, really good. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10.
It doesn't blow my mind, but it's good. Pokemon Stadium.
Never played it.
So this is the game. So Pokemon is primarily a portable game. Game Boy, Game Boy
Let me
Advance.
tell you
I know
what-
everybody that loves
I'm gonna
64
tell
always
you what's
includes this
special
in their
about
list.
this. All right.
So
So you know how Brandon earlier was talking about the backs of the controllers with the rumble packs, right? Well, for Pokemon Stadium, they had a pack that you put your Game Boy games in there, so you could bring the Pokemon that you caught and trained on the Game Boy
That's cool.
into the 64 and duel them on the 64.
Steven missed one important one.
Oh no! I did. Shame on me.
No, continue talking. I'm just
Bring that one too. That you just bring that one too.
Toy Story 2.
But I mean,
Pretty
Pokemon
cool.
Stadium.
Nintendo utilizing
Hey,
that
you
hardware.
trained all your Pokemon. You trained all your Pokemon. Mine are better than yours. Well,
Oh,
let's
yeah?
prove it. Take it, slap it in, upload your Pokemon, fight them to the death.
and this is the thing though. This is the coolest thing about that. All right, you know how you had to do multiplayer Game Boy, right? You had to have the Game Link. Oh my god.
Now with this one, you had the little cart. It looked like the Rumble Pack. But
came with it.
there was a cartridge slot that you put in, and then you put that in this slot, and then you had your Pokemon in the game. Chances are they're all the same. They're all maxed out level.
Yeah.
You could, I mean, your friend brought theirs over, and it's just great. It's awesome.
Paper Mario.
There's the
So
story.
the N64, if anything, if it had a lack of anything, it was RPGs. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of.
They
RPG.
lost
There
Final
wasn't a whole lot of
Fantasy.
RPGs.
They lost Final Fantasy to PlayStation because of the cartridge system.
They had
Nintendo.
Quest and Quest.
Quest 64 sucks. That game sucks. You can't defend that one. But this game,
Somebody actually commented on Facebook said that they really like that one.
sorry whoever commented, I hate that game.
I already told him we both don't like it, but he was really cool about it. Too.
Paper Mario. This was the spiritual successor to Super Mario RPG.
RPGs. Yeah, Legend of Zelda
and
Sword.
this game, this is in Brandon's top 5 64 games right here. This is it.
It's gotta be.
It's good, interactive. It's kind of like Mario RPG in the sense that the battle system was interactive. It wasn't just hit A, watch your guy hit and come back.
Hit A at
Sure.
the right moment.
Right moment, yeah. platform.
But this one's like hit A at the right moment, or you had to hold back to swing your hammer. You had to hold this back, and it would go beep 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 beep. And you let go, and he swings.
Yeah.
It felt
That's
good.
cool.
You had your jumps. You had to jump at the right time.
It's a really good story too.
Good story.
Everybody laughed at it because everybody's like Paper Mario. What? I
So-
don't know why they chose to do that, but
The original Paper Mario was actually the one that harped on the fact that it was paper the least, and more subsequent.
except when they fell, they were totally paper.
Yeah, but like the other games totally just play off the fact that they're made out of paper, like Super Paper Mario. Now, the 1,000-Year Door for GameCube is probably better than this. I think
Oh, really?
it's dang good, man. It's even like it's more interactive than this one is. Have you played 1,000-Year Door?
I did, but
Dude.
I never played through it. I never got
And the
it.
graphics in that game stand up to this day. Holy moly! But Super Paper Mario 64,
There's your gym.
another Rareware gem, and this is one of my personal
I
favorites.
love the story behind this.
This is one of my personal
That's
favorite
one of the ones I
64
wish
games.
if there was a list of Jacob, because Jacob missed
man.
out on that I
Yeah.
want to play, that's on the list.
Conker's
game-
Bad Fur Day.
This game, like, had my mom like, oh no, no, I don't want anything to do with that. Oh no.
Conker's Bad Fur Day was actually... Don't make it obvious, guys!
Yeah.
Y'all both staring at it. But Conker's Bad Fur Day actually was a mature-rated game that looked like a kid's game. I never played it until I was, a young adult. I didn't play it. Now, I appreciate it for what it is
Saw
because...
my game pros.
a lot of people. I used to see commercials for it all the time. I remember seeing the commercial with there's an advertisement for it where the squirrel and his little ball sack was hanging out, and they censored it. You remember what I'm talking? You know what I'm talking about? You remember that?
The box was just a black box that said, "This game is not for kids."
And it had
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conker and Barry on the front of
Yeah.
it. And it said Conker's Bad Fur Day.
And
Now,
that's
this was whenever Rare was putting out all these games, and everyone was laughing. They were like, "Whoa, great! Another kiddie game where everything has eyes and
Well, wasn't it
everything's
on
cute."
E3? E3, they demoed a game that was like, oh,
Conker's 12 Tales, which
Yeah.
was what it originally was, and then they got laughed at. And they said, "Okay, we'll make a game that's not kiddie." And this is what came out, and oh my gosh, I love this game
That
because
was back when Rare was actually a good company. And
this
had
game,
balls.
it's a good platformer. There's different sections.
Oh, it's great. It's
Actually,
so great.
I prefer to play the Xbox version on the single player.
upgraded, yeah.
The multiplayer is actually not bad in this
I
one.
was actually gonna say I prefer the 64 version.
I prefer me. I prefer this one
I
just because
prefer that one.
it looks really good, and I like his little outfits in this one.
Yeah.
His little like in this one, in the 64 version, he gets an army helmet,
Right.
but he has a full army get up in the Xbox version.
I think I prefer the 64 version just because
I prefer-
it's not censored. The Xbox version is censored.
I prefer the 64 version in that fact as well, where it's straight up like you can actually
Tell you
unlock it
what,
to where it's.
you'd be surprised. I thought it was just Xbox 360 game.
That's a good dude. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, it plays like a 360 game.
The
graphics
look
are really
amazing.
good and it's
Yeah.
smooth.
And like you showed it to me, and goes, "Oh, it's a 360 game." No, it's Xbox. Oh,
It's original. Yeah, I remember that's one of the first original Xbox games I ever played.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, well, sort of.
Yeah.
The first one I ever played was Halo.
Alex got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Alex got it.
That doesn't count.
That was one of those
Doesn't
games.
count.
That was one of them games that I played with Alex.
But yeah, dude, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Alex got it and we played it a good bit.
But easily, I would love to make a top 10 in 64
There's
games.
one. There's one in that stack you don't have.
There's actually a couple in that stack I don't have. Let's go ahead and name those.
Star Fox.
Star Fox 64.
Bruh, I would play till the daylight, playing 4-on-4 or 1-on-1 4 mode. Holding that charge button. Oh, where's he at? Let go.
Here's literally half of playing Star Fox multiplayer is holding
Z.
either RL and then holding your charge and just trying to get the waiting for your friend to slip
Yeah.
up so you get that one little bit you can
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dog fights.
Dog fights.
Them dog fights are crazy.
All range mode. That was the coolest thing. Man. I was like, this is Independence Day. Yeah, look at this. This is really cool.
It's not a rail shooter anymore.
I always
It's- whoa.
I always wanted to play as player 3 so I could be Falco.
Yeah, we always fought over player 3.
Yeah.
It's either player 1 or player 3 you fought
And he
over.
had blue lasers instead of
If you were player 2, you were screwed.
your Peppy.
You Peppy?
Slippy.
Yeah.
Or Slippy was 4? I thought
Slippy
Peppy was
4, I should say.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
I
no,
know
he's
Slippy
either 3 or
and
4.
Peppy.
I think Falco's either 3 or 4. But I think I prefer the Super Nintendo.
Now, you know,
I still prefer Super Nintendo Star Fox. Correct.
I disagree. I prefer 64. I really like 64.
I see a trend here.
Now here's the thing, though.
I see a trend here.
Here's the thing, though. All right, don't get me wrong. I prefer a challenge 100% of the time. So when it comes to the challenge, I would absolutely say Star Fox for Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Way harder, obviously. There's no question about that. But I don't know. I like the smoothness of the 64 version. I like the story. I like that there's voice acting.
The story, the
And
voice
story I
acting,
can follow.
and they added a lot more with the all range mode with
And it
the
did look like a bunch
dogfight.
of triangles and stuff like
And
that.
it didn't chug because
It did not- yeah, it did not
Star
chug.
Fox you do have to
Oh my
watch with
God.
rose-tinted glasses.
But
But the thing that gets me one with Star Fox from the Super Nintendo is because I felt like it was a little more serious.
Yeah.
Because the 64 version I felt like it appealed a little more towards.
No,
Help
I felt
me! Help me!
I felt like
Yeah,
I felt like
kidding.
in some instances I felt like it was pretty serious.
I don't know, man, because in Star
I
Fox
probably agree that it's more serious on
And-
Super Nintendo.
and the original,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we're saying. In the
Yeah.
original Star Fox for Super Nintendo, if one of your teammates dies, they died.
Yeah.
Like
Dun,
permanently.
dun, dun, dun,
They don't
dun,
come
dun,
back.
dun,
They're like,
dun, dun.
oh, I'm monkey food if I don't get out of here.
yeah.
No, it's like Slippy's dead.
It's just static. It's white air.
It's just he's gone. And at the end of the game, he's gone.
He's gone.
He's just dead.
Yeah,
I didn't mean that
you
Star
could
Fox
tell-
64 was
No, no, no.
kiddie. It was
Oh,
kiddie-er.
no.
is what I meant.
Understandable, yeah, definitely. Because it was, because I mean, that's probably why they got rid of the permadeath. But man, look, I could tell you, we had competitions at sleepover parties.
Oh my gosh,
Where not just versus mode, no, single player mode.
Oh,
We would,
like Russian-
Get the
Speedrun?
score attack.
Oh,
the score attack, exactly. Like tally up the points. I remember there was not one person that I knew that could go all the way through on the hard levels. And we had a sleepover party, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try my luck. I'm gonna go through the I'm gonna save Falco. I'm gonna do all that, and I was the only one that beat it that night on hard on the.
Speaking of being competitive, last game we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get to our user feedback.
Sure.
Super Smash Brothers. That's what we opened up with.
Duh.
Obviously, Super Smash Bros. Means a lot to me because that was the first time where you had all these Nintendo franchises in one game.
One game.
And they were all fighting each other and beating the crap out of each other. I remember going over to Steve's house, and you didn't know, because there was no Metroid on 64, you didn't even know who Samus was.
I knew who Samus was through Smash Bros.
Through Smash Bros.
Yeah, I didn't know who.
But before
No, I take that back. I knew who Samus was. I knew who Samus was because I played Super Metroid.
Did you?
I did.
I remember there was someone you didn't know.
Captain Falcon.
Now I know there's one character we both didn't know, which was Ness, and we didn't know who Ness
Yeah, we didn't know
was.
who Samus was.
Because
I did not
Earthbound-
know who Captain Falcon was.
I knew who Captain Falcon
I
was.
think you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Read them
But they were,
booklets.
yeah, the booklet. He was only in the booklet. But I like how they were able to make a whole moveset for Captain Falcon, even though all he has ever done is drive a car.
Drive a car.
Yeah.
But like
He's a
all
bounty
those,
hunter.
yeah. But totally cool. I used to love it. Come on, come on.
Oh, it's so great.
The unlocks, playing it, beating it with every character, the target
Got another
smash.
Steve story for this one.
And then, of course, the multiplayer. The battle, oh my gosh. The fighting in that game.
That game stands the test of time too.
I turned 8 years old when I got this. Alright, I had a birthday party at the YMCA, and my mom let me pick like 5 friends to sleep over. This was before me and Brandon were friends. Alright, my
Yeah, I
mom
remember
let
the YMCA.
my mom let me pick like 5 friends to have to sleep over that night. So I picked my 5 friends, I kid you not, all night long. We played Smash Bros.
Yeah.
As soon as we got to my house, popped that thing in my Super Nintendo, slammed that thing in my cartridge in the thing, turn that thing on. I'm changing my words so much, I'm tripping over my words. All
Hey, let me
night.
restart that for you. I got home, I popped the cartridge in the console, and then we played it
Thanks, Brandon.
all night long.
Brandon's translating for me. Thank
There you go.
Man, I just all night long. I don't even know if we slept that night, bro. I'm telling you, we just all like my mom was the type of mom to try to make us shut it down at a certain time. But we were not shutting down. My mom came down and fussed us, but it was like, you can't stop.
I gotta
this party.
say, if I were to make a top 10 64 games, I would struggle not putting that in number one.
Smash Bros.
I don't disagree.
I'm not saying
Keep doing
Ocarina of
that.
Time is a worse game than it. I'm just saying as a console,
For you.
utilizing everything the 64 is about, Smash Bros. Did that the best.
Quality wise, I'd probably say Ocarina of Time is number 1.
Well, yeah,
If
of
we're
course.
talking about favorites,
Of course.
obviously you know I'd say number 1.
Steve, you got that user feedback for us?
Let's get that user feedback. So
We're running
we
long.
we were asking you guys about feedback, and I got a lot of
We
feedback.
asked the
today.
community, tell us about your 64 stories, memories, soundtracks. Do you like the controller or not? Tell us
Some
about...
people hate it.
Yeah, some people might hate it. Who
Well,
knows?
I do have a liar on here.
Okay.
Because Josh Leday said GoldenEye, that is all. But then he came back and said, also spent many hours playing Pokemon Stadium. Josh, you just said that is all, but then you came back again. Just kidding, man. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate it. Kelly Williams, one of my good friends from high school and working at Canes with him, said Quest 64 is an underrated game.
Sorry, Kelsey Williams. Kelly Williams, sorry.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Correct.
But I just disagree.
You don't have to give us an explanation of who everyone is. You can just kind of...
Well, the most popular one by far was GoldenEye. Everybody was like, GoldenEye.
When people think of the 64, they think of GoldenEye, man.
One of my friends, Sarah Lang, gave up many, many hours given to the god of all video games, past, present, and future, GoldenEye. That is a bold statement.
That's a good game.
It's agreeable. Yeah,
that's
it's
a good game.
Jason Sinek said Pilot Wing 64.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. It's a good game. That's an underrated game.
Alexis Eshte said, Falgu, I forgot she got married. Sorry, Alexis. Donkey Kong 64 is my favorite Nintendo 64 game. Good pick. I love that one.
Not my favorite Donkey Kong, but I like that game a lot. I like Lanky Kong.
Lanky Kong.
Do you like Lanky Kong?
Never played Donkey Kong
64.
Do
you know what he looks like?
No.
Continue, Steve.
Joshua Mancuso gave us a tiebreaker
Okay.
for his favorite. He said Smash Bros. Or Star Fox. Close race between the two. That would be tough.
That's a tough choice, man.
That's tough, Josh. I don't know how I couldn't make that pick. And Kelly came back and explained 64 was his first main foray into Nintendo consoles. He had a Genesis growing up, and the first Nintendo console he owned was the 64.
That's Lanky Kong.
And Brandon, your wife had a comment too. She said Shrek. Was there any Shrek games on the 64?
Shrek was not on the 64. You're an idiot, Haley. Haley, you're retarded.
Wait, what about Gauntlet?
Hey, Brandon, say that one more time.
Dark Legacy.
Gauntlet, was that on 64?
It wasn't Dark Legacy, it was Gauntlet Legends.
Gauntlet Legends.
64? That was on 64, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I prefer the GameCube version.
Oh, it was on
Dark
GameCube?
Legacy was on
I don't remember
GameCube.
time we played. I thought we played on 64.
No.
Well,
We
guys,
played on
Is
GameCube?
it is on 64, but we play on GameCube.
Okay.
guys, thank you for your feedback.
Yes,
you guys
thank you.
are awesome. I will definitely let you guys know when this gets posted.
Our friend Marcus also said...
Oh, yeah, he said something.
He had a
Marcus, he had a butt ton,
list.
but I know for a fact Banjo-Kazooie is his favorite 64 game. And
That's a good call.
it's a very good call, Marcus.
My mom and I used to play
Me
that
and
game.
Marcus used to talk about we used to do Dairy together at Oak Point. We used to talk about sequels to games and how we would do them, and we used to talk about Banjo Kazooie so much, man. We used to love talking about that. But thank you so much, everyone, for your input. We are running a little long, so let's jump into side quests, everyone. Side quest. Who got a side quest?
We're going to the Renaissance Festival tomorrow. Me, Brent, and Austin.
If we end up going, I'm gonna try to film that for you.
I'm not trying to go.
I'm gonna bring
We
the
just gotta work
camera.
all day tomorrow.
Camera.
Y'all just meet us there because me, Brent, and Austin are probably gonna be going pretty early.
Okay.
And we figure that if y'all meet us there, y'all can. We don't want to make y'all like follow our schedule.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
if they go, I might
Yeah.
pitch.
I mean, we could
If
all
you do.
we could all
Maybe.
meet up when
I don't
y'all
know what
come,
we're doing tomorrow.
but like we want to be able to. I think me, Brent, and Austin are planning on staying there open to close,
Okay.
and it runs 9:45 to dusk.
Okay.
So
Cool.
But yeah, we're all dressing up. I'm dressing up as a brother of the Night's Watch from Game of Thrones. Brent's going as a pirate. And
Yeah.
I'm not,
See this.
I'm not sure what Austin's going as, but I'm excited to see. I got my Night's Watch get up ready to go. Thank God it's gonna be cold. 'cause,
I'm gonna
man,
dress up
I'm
as a hunter.
melt. Do that. You know, next weekend is time travel weekend.
Oh.
Where
Oh, that's
that
when
would
we
make
went.
sense.
We went in time travel weekend.
Really? It would, but still do it.
Okay.
I was trying to fact check to see if Shrek is on 64, and I believe it is not on 64. Because I was like, maybe-
Shrek!
No, Shrek is not on 64. Okay. Really retarded. Jacob, do you have a side quest?
Nah.
Okay, I have a side quest. Stranger Things 2.
Bomb.
Finish
Dot.
it.
I'll try to finish it so we can have a spoiler cast.
Finish
We'll have a
it.
spoiler
I wanna
cast
Next,
whenever
next,
Jacob's
next,
done.
next,
Try to finish it next.
cast, or
I
try
wanted
to.
to stretch it, man.
Oh, and by the way, I don't know if y'all noticed, I'm not doing it shirtless because my team lost.
But no, I want to say Stranger Things 2. Holy crap! I didn't think that they could follow up
sorry.
season 1 so well, but they did.
Ooh, man, they nailed it.
I love
out
that
of
show.
the park.
I love, that's probably one of my
Out
favorite
of the park.
shows. Of all
I
time.
did call it for the for Dart what Dart was. I knew that was coming. D'Artagnan.
They nailed
Oh
it.
yeah. I didn't want to run anything for it. Yeah.
No, I knew
They
it. I knew
nailed
it was.
It gets a little bit more complex.
Okay.
It gets a little more complex.
They-
Oh yeah. I
They
can
nailed
understand.
it out of the park.
But they did it better than I thought they would even do it.
It
So
was really great.
totally excited for that. I can't wait till it returns.
Sure.
But thank you so much for listening and or watching, everyone. Please click in one of these corners. Always put some other content on our channel for you to watch. Could be a podcast, could be an epic maneuver, could be a let's play. Check it out. Thanks for listening. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. And you can, sorry, I got a little, Jacob's melting. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can also listen and subscribe to us on iTunes and any place that carries RSS feed.
And here's a Facebook page on my telephone right here.
Yes,
that
we're also
I've got right here. We're on the Facebook.
We're also on Facebook, Twitter,
You're stretching it
and
out, man.
Instagram. I'm Brandon.
I'm Jacob. I'm Steve.
End it.
End it, please.